Do you smile and say it's fine when it isn't? Do you swallow your anger to keep the peace and then lie awake at 2 a.m., replaying everything? Does the rage you buried in the morning somehow feel heavier by midnight? If that's you, you're not weak. You're not broken. You've just been doing something deeply dangerous, and almost no one around you will warn you about it. Friedrich Nietzsche understood this over a century ago. He had a name for what happens to the people who swallow their anger every single day, and the name is darker than you expect. Stay until the end. The final lesson will change how you carry yourself forever. Swallowing your anger doesn't make it disappear. It makes it permanent. Every time you suppress what you truly feel, you don't neutralize the emotion, you preserve it. You pickle it. And it sits inside you, aging badly. This wasn't just frustration to Nietzsche, it was ressentiment, a French word he used deliberately because it captures something English can't quite hold. It's the slow, festering resentment of people who feel powerless to act on their anger, so instead, they turn it inward. They can't strike outward, so they strike themselves. The cycle works like this. First, something happens that genuinely wounds you. Second, you decide consciously or not that expressing that anger is too risky, too ugly, too much. Third, the emotion doesn't leave. It reroutes. It goes underground and starts rewiring your nervous system from the inside. Over time, your brain begins treating mild frustrations like existential threats. The volume knob on your anger gets stuck not at 0, but at a constant, exhausting hum. Nietzsche wrote that the human body is a diary that never lies. Modern neuroscience agrees. Chronic emotional suppression floods the body with cortisol, the stress hormone. It disrupts sleep. It weakens immunity. It keeps the amygdala, your brain's alarm system, in a permanent state of low-level emergency. You're not angry anymore. You're just always slightly on edge. And you can't explain why. Here's the insidious part. Swallowed anger doesn't stay still. It shapeshifts. It becomes passive aggression, small, deniable acts of sabotage toward the people who hurt you. It becomes perfectionism, because if you control everything perfectly, no one can ever give you a reason to feel this way again. It becomes numbness, because after years of suppressing the hot emotions, you start suppressing all of them. Joy, connection, desire. You anesthetize the wound and accidentally anesthetize your whole inner life. Stop here. This matters. If you have spent your life swallowing your anger because you were told that anger is ugly, that anger is selfish, that good people don't get angry, you were lied to. Anger is a signal. It is your nervous system informing you that a boundary has been crossed, that something real and important has been violated. You were taught to silence a messenger that was only ever trying to protect you. You are not too sensitive. You are not too emotional. You were simply never given permission to be honest about what was happening to you. So should you just explode? Rage at everyone? No, Nietzsche's answer was more precise than that. He admired what he called the will to power, not domination over others, but mastery over oneself. The goal is not to vent your anger everywhere. The goal is to stop being afraid of it, to look at it, to ask what it is telling you. Anger processed consciously becomes clarity. Anger swallowed unconsciously becomes poison. The difference is whether you have the courage to sit with the feeling long enough to understand it. Here are 5 concrete rules you can apply immediately. Rule 1, name it before you bury it. When you feel anger rising, say to yourself, I am angry. Just naming it activates the prefrontal cortex and begins to diffuse the automatic suppression response. Rule 2, give yourself a 24-hour window. You don't have to confront everything in the moment, but commit to processing the feeling within 24 hours. Journaling, movement, a single honest conversation before you let it go underground. Rule 3, separate the feeling from the action. Feeling angry is never wrong. What you do with that anger can be right or wrong. Don't punish yourself for the feeling, only govern the response. Rule 4, stop performing peace you don't feel. Every time you say I'm fine when you're not, you train your nervous system that your inner experience is not worth acknowledging. That training compounds. Stop performing for people who haven't earned your honesty. Rule 5, ask what the anger is protecting. Beneath almost every deep anger is a value being violated: loyalty, fairness, respect, love. Find the value. The anger is just the guard at the door. What it's protecting is the real conversation. The most dangerous person is not the one who explodes. It's the one who has been quiet for so long that even they have forgotten what they were angry at. People who express their anger are called difficult. People who swallow it are called dead inside. Nietzsche would say, choose difficult. This video found you for a week. You felt it. You smiled through something that deserved a very different response. You carried weight that was never fully yours to carry. Anger isn't the enemy, silence is. Suppression isn't strength, it's slow self-erasure. The most powerful thing you can do is learn to feel what you actually feel. If this reached you, subscribe. This channel exists for human psychology, the philosophy of Friedrich Nietzsche, deep personal development, and the hidden emotional dynamics that shape who we become. New video coming soon. Don't miss it.